Welcome back, second and third grade, and I'm so excited to see each and every one of you guys. And first off, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for doing those veteran cards today for Miss Harb. I got to tell you, Monday was a very big day for the mailman. I sent out over 40 different big envelopes filled with the Veterans Day cards that we had enough to go out to every military base in the state of Kansas. We had enough to go out for every VFW that we have in the state of Kansas. So awesome job. Way to be a part of your community and way to help others. I know that Veterans Day is Wednesday, and each one of them will feel very happy and pleasant and excited to get a card from one of you guys. So thank you guys so much for being awesome people who are more than happy to lend that helping hand when I need it. So today we're going to continue on talking about our wonderful brain that's inside of our head. And so far we have talked about a couple of different parts, but today we're going to really hound in and talk about 3 different parts of your brain and how it affects us every day. And I even have some fun games that we can play with them, but this might work best if you have mom and dad at home or brother and sister at home. But real fast, we're going to review what we already know. We have talked about a cerebellum, which controls our balance, our muscles, our control, or coordination. This is like when we go to PE and music, we have to learn how to play ball, or we're working with musical instruments, or this is when you're doing a sport. And if you remember our hand model, you make a 4. Wrap your fingers around it. This here represents like a brain type deal. Your cerebellum is located back here. Now, on your head, this is one of the very few that you can kind of get an idea. But if you touch your head, you might feel a little drop off close down to your neck. So right where you feel your skull stop, your cerebellum is tucked up right under there. Then we have your brainstem, and your brainstem does so many wonderful things. It controls this heart rate, it controls your breathing, it controls your blood pressure, which is like how fast your heart's moving. It controls your digestion, like after you eat, your body's digesting it, and then also controls your body temperature. And right now, I am looking outside, and it looks cold out, which it is. So your brainstem is telling you, hey, you probably need to put on some long sleeves, have a coat, be ready. So your brainstem back in our hand model is your wrist right here. Now, on your head, if you feel your neck, you might feel your spine. Your brainstem's on the front side of that spinal cord or your spine. Now, something that we didn't get too in detail with, but say you make 2 fists, you put them together. This is like a brain. So you have a left hemisphere, you have a right hemisphere. So there's 2 sides when you talk about a brain. Now, what connects those 2 brains together is something called the corpus callosum. And it just fits right in between them, and it's like the glue, and it holds them together. And this here can be looked a lot like a copier or a printer. It helps sorts and organizes what the left and the right side are saying to do to the body. So it's organizing things out. It's telling them, hey, you need this to be put here. You need that to be put there. You need your left hand to move up and down. You need your right hand to move like this. It is communicating what both sides of your brain are saying. And so our brain is so complex, you never know. So today we're going to be talking about 3 different things, but the first 2 is the hippocampus and the thalamus. When we talk about our hippocampus, you open up that 4. Your hippocampus is this thumb part right here. It's not where the nail is, but it's the finger part of the hippocampus. Wrap that around. It's all tucked up inside. So your hippocampus is what organizes and stores your memories and connecting certain sensations to the emotions to these memories. So your hippocampus is a lot like a GPS. And that GPS is taking these short-term memories, like you knowing 2 + 2 = 4, or you knowing your ABCs, into the long-term memory where you will remember it for the rest of your life. Some long-term memories might be the best 5-year-old birthday you ever had. You went to Six Flags, you rode amusement park rides, you had fun. Or it might be the time that you graduated from kindergarten. That was something pretty powerful and impactful. Something that can go into a long-term memory is like transitioning grades. So like last year, my second graders, when you were a first grader, you transitioned into a second grader, that will always stick in your head for quite a while. So it's going to go to the long-term side, which is your hippocampus. Let's see. The hippocampus also keeps and stores, unfortunately, maybe some sad memories, maybe some not good memories, like when a grandparent passes away. So when you get those emotions going with that and you think back, that's where the thalamus comes in play. And so if you see right here, the thalamus is right here. The amygdala is right here. So it's kind of all connected together in a way. But your thalamus, on one hand, is your pain sensation, your attention, your alertness, and your memory. When you think of those sad thoughts, you would probably become sadder. So that's where the thalamus comes. It creates the emotion with the memory. And then our third, but last but not least, is something called the amygdala. And this is the emotion control center. It's the control response. So if you remember when we last year watched a couple of clips of Inside Out, all of those emotions like joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger, they were all inside the little girl's amygdala. And so that's where the whole movie was kind of created from. It was the amygdala. But the amygdala, so remember we have the hippocampus here. The amygdala is the nail part of your thumb. And those two connect each other because they help control each other. So that's why it's so very important. Your amygdala also has responses, and it might overreact a little bit more to the emotion of fear. And that is because we will talk later about this, but we'll talk about flipping our lid, which is when our brain flips up and we let our amygdala take the control of what we're doing and how we're feeling. So we will talk about that later, but here is a better picture of the brain. So right here is the hippocampus, your memories. Right here is the amygdala. They're attached on. The amygdala comes first with all your emotions. And then your thalamus is right here. That helps relay on the information of what feelings you should be feeling in that moment. They do have something kind of a little funny about something called a hypothalamus, and that kind of controls both hippocampus and the thalamus. It kind of puts both of the same things together into one. So when we talk about all this, you're like, whoa, Miss Harp, that's a lot of information, and I totally understand that. But let's play some games to help really work, especially your amygdala, hippocampus, and thalamus in this way. Now, there is a game TV show called The Game of Games by Ellen DeGeneres, and we will get there in just 1 second. I forgot about the slide real fast. But anyway, over here where my mouse is circling, this is a hippocampus. The hippocampus can be related to like a seahorse. So something really weird to think about. And then here is your thalamus over here. And it can kind of look like an acorn at the same time. The amygdala is about the size of a nickel. So something so small can have a big impact of how our day is. So think about that for a quick second. But back on to working out our brain. So there is Ellen's Games of Games, and she does a lot of memory games that really work out your brain. So that's what we're going to do. Feel free to grab mom and dad, brother and sister. You guys can play a game, or you can just play by yourself. But if you are going to play by yourself, I do suggest getting out a piece of paper and a pencil because you will need to write down some things. So what we're going to do is I'm going to flash up a picture for 30 seconds. You need to memorize as much as you can about that picture. There'll be many different items in that picture. And once I flash it away, you need to write down as much as you can remember. So your 30 seconds starts now. Alrighty, go ahead and write down everything that you can possibly remember about that little photo collage. Now, I'm going to move on. Please pause the video so that you can get that valuable brain time in and really let your hippocampus and your thalamus work through. But try to remember to keep your lid back on and control that amygdala of your emotion control center. I'm going to flip back to the same picture and you may double check of what you have. We are going to do one more. So your next 30 seconds starts now. Alrighty, time's up. Once again, pause the video so you can get that valuable brain time down. Write down everything that you can remember. Try to recall. Use that hippocampus of what you can. I'm going to flash it back to the same page so that we can move on. But here is everything. Did you guys guess? The kangaroo, newspaper, Legos, pizza, sunglasses, pineapple, kiwi, a unicorn floaty, a plunger, a dog in a pool, a book bag, a dump truck, cupcake, skateboard, jelly beans, motorcycle, so on and so forth. Alrighty. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There I am again. Now, I came up with some really fun trivia questions for you guys. Now, we're going to really use that hippocampus to see if you guys remember some of the stuff. Some of this you might know, some of it you might have to take a guess on, but that's fine. We're all here to learn, right? So your very first question is, what is the sweet food made by bees? Did you guys guess honey? You are absolutely correct. On a common ladybug, what color are its spots? Did you guess black? In what sport can you get a hole in one? This one here is kind of tricky. You guys guessed golf, you're correct. Now this one here, I think you guys might know. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Did you guys guess SpongeBob SquarePants? Alrighty. What's the name of the toy cowboy in Toy Story? Did you guess Woody? What sweet snack is left out for Santa on Christmas Eve night? Did you guess cookies? If you freeze water, what do you get? You guessed ice. You are right. Where does the President of the United States live? You guessed the White House. You are right. Oh, according to the Dr. Seuss book, who stole Christmas? What's that character's name? You guessed Mr. Grinch. You are right. Okay, in the nursery rhyme, who sat on a wall before having a great fall? You guessed Humpty Dumpty. You are right. Ooh, what colors are Smurfs? You guessed blue. You are right. Okay. Last question. Which animal is the tallest in the world? If you guessed a giraffe, you are absolutely correct. So throughout these short little games, there's so many more memory games that you guys can do. There's plenty online. You can pick up those matching games. You can put together puzzles. Those are all great ways to work on your amygdala, your hippocampus, and your thalama, and even your hypothalama. So thank you guys for being awesome second and third graders. Have a great and marvelous day. It is Hump Day, Mike. Mike. Don't forget to be awesome and stellar today, and I love y'all. Bye.